Alright, so our main character's best bro lures him into a luxury villa under the guise of meeting a gorgeous girl. But the moment he steps inside, the door gets locked from the outside, though a beauty is actually waiting in the living room. Plot twist, it is his friend's sister, who also happens to be his cold ex-girlfriend from 3 years ago. His buddy is literally crying through the locked door, begging him to get back with his sister today. She is going to kill me, please, he begs, as our guy stares awkwardly at the woman in front of him. She still has that same arrogant, high and mighty vibe, looking at him with eyes cold enough to freeze water. But Lin Ye just wants to lie flat and live his best life as a lazy, useless rich playboy. Talk about absolute chaos right from the start of Chapter 1 when his buddy calls for an emergency. The limited edition motorcycle in my garage just arrived, so come over right now and check it out. Liu Che's voice over the phone sounds completely unhinged and excited, like he just won the lottery. Meanwhile, Lin Ye is chilling by the heated pool of his penthouse, soaking up the 3 p.m. afternoon sun. He is listening to some nice tunes with a floating tray drifting nearby. The tray is loaded with freshly cut chilled fruit and a glass of sweet home-brewed green plum wine. Honestly, this is the ultimate dream, lying flat and finding new, creative ways to do absolutely nothing. You see, he is actually a transmigrator who ended up inside a typical male lead power fantasy web novel. Luckily for him, he did not reincarnate as the main character or even the villain. Instead, he became a rich cannon fodder character destined to get face-slapped by the protagonist early on. He is Lin Ye, the eldest young master of the wealthy Lin family, which is a massive win. Though he has the cannon fodder title, his family's massive business empire is already being run by professionals. A bunch of extremely loyal, workaholic subordinates have kept everything running perfectly smooth. Their hidden wealth easily destroys the original protagonists, and the original owner of this body? He got sick of the corporate grind long ago and only wanted to be a hands-off boss. He handed all the work to his trusted right-hand men, leaving himself free to enjoy life. This role was literally tailor-made for our guy, and once he took over the body, things got wild. He took the lazy life to a whole new level, flatly refusing his friend's invitation while rolling over. He pops a slice of sweet melon into his mouth, wondering what is so special about a motorcycle. Is it better than tanning under this sun? But his friend yells back that only 10 exist worldwide. Liu Che starts throwing a literal temper tantrum over the phone, begging him to come over. Our main character just sighs, because Liu Che is honestly the only guy he considers a true brother. He is just a simple-minded, muscular, and completely clueless rich kid who has no bad intentions. He also happens to be the younger brother of Liu Ruyan, the ex-girlfriend Lin Ye dumped 3 years ago. That breakup was messy, and this Ice Queen CEO humiliated him in front of high society. She looked at him like he was absolute trash, telling Lin Ye that he was completely useless. "You are just worthless mud," she said, with nothing to offer except playing around with family money. We belong to different worlds, she claimed, but at that time, our current main character had not transmigrated yet. The original owner of the body was devastated and completely trashed the engagement party in a rage. He became the ultimate laughingstock of high society, but once our guy took over, things changed. He only had one reaction to that dramatic past, thinking the breakup was a total win. Relationships are exhausting anyway, so he tells his buddy to stop bothering him, but then his sister is mentioned.
"She wants to talk to you," Liu Che blurts out, throwing down his ultimate trump card.
That name instantly makes him freeze, wondering why on earth that cold woman would want to see him. It has been 3 whole years, and they do not even have each other on social media. He starts worrying that the main storyline is finally kicking off, and she might team up with the protagonist. They might try to destroy him as the ex-fiancé, and 100 terrifying possibilities flash in his head. Every single scenario ends with his perfect, lazy lifestyle getting absolutely ruined by this drama. No way! Our guy Lin has to check this out to protect his ultimate lazy lifestyle. He sits straight up, demanding the address to crush this early. His voice goes ice cold. Half an hour later, Lin rolls up in a totally basic car, parking right outside Liu Che's place. It is a crazy mountain mansion, where Liu Che bounds out to greet him like a golden retriever. He grins like a puppy, shouting, "Brother Lin, you finally came!" Lin just glares. Walking straight inside, Lin asks for her. In the living room, the brother stammers. He looks shifty. Lin steps inside.
He immediately spots the woman, dressed in a sharp outfit.
She wears a perfectly tailored white suit, her long hair pinned back without a single stray strand. Her back is turned by a massive window, looking incredibly elegant and distant. She looks like a frozen lotus on a mountain peak. Hearing footsteps, she starts to turn. She slowly turns. 3 years have passed.
Honestly, guys, she seems even more stunning now, but also way colder.
Her gorgeous face shows absolutely zero emotion as those beautiful eyes stare calmly at him. She looks at him like a total stranger, stirring up a faint echo of the original owner's feelings. His heart flutters. He quickly crushes it.
She is pure trouble. That is his first thought. Suddenly, right then,
the door behind him slams shut with a heavy click, followed by the sound of a lock turning. Lin whips around. The brother is gone. Through the door, the brother starts wailing in tears. "Brother Lin, I am so sorry. If you do not get back with my sister today, she is going to kill me. Please, just talk to her in there." Lin takes a deep breath, absolutely losing his mind. He turns back, meeting her cold stare.
she just stares in complete silence. Honestly, the cringe and tension in this room is off the charts.
Lin rubs his temples, realizing his lazy life is in serious danger. "This is a massive crisis. Is what Liu Che said actually true?" he asks. Lin breaks the silence, asking if she is going to kill him. Her eyelashes flutter slightly, clearly caught off guard by his brutally honest question. She finally speaks, her voice sounding just as cold as her expression. There is a slight, quiet rasp as she mutters that her brother is talking nonsense. Lin nods, asking her to unlock the door since he has things to do. His business is just going home to sleep, but Liu Ruyan just stares at him. Her lips part, but nothing comes out. But she stays silent, instead reaching over to the side table.
She picks up a document and hands it over, prompting Lin to ask what it is.
He refuses to take it. "It is an agreement," she says calmly. "A reconciliation agreement?" Lin literally laughs in disbelief. In all his life, he has never heard of a contract to get back with an ex. Smirking, Lin asks Liu Ruyan if she has completely lost her mind. 3 years ago, she was the one who said they belonged to different worlds. Now her brother tricks him here, locks him inside, and forces them to get back together. "Does she honestly think this is funny?" he asks, while she stares back. A flicker of emotion finally shows in her eyes, a deeply complex mix of feelings he cannot read. It looks like pain and struggle. Looking away, she softly mentions what happened 3 years ago. At this point, our MC is totally done. He coldly tells Liu Ruyan he doesn't need his apology and just wants to leave. But Liu Ruyan softly begs him, "You can't leave." His voice is quiet, but there's this absolute refusal to let him leave. When asked why, he goes silent. He is silent for so long, the MC actually thinks he's done talking, but then he drops an absolute bombshell of a confession. Looking down, Liu Ruyan reveals that 3 years ago, he never wanted to break up. His long eyelashes cast a dark shadow over his face as he admits that someone literally threatened his brother Liu Che's life to force them apart. At this point, the MC's brain goes completely blank. He is just frozen in pure shock for several seconds. Like, what? Threatening his brother Liu Che's life just to force a breakup? This is wild. This is some wild soap opera drama. The author definitely didn't write this in the original novel. The MC stares at Liu Ruyan, trying to read that cold iceberg face of his. He is desperately searching for any slight trace of a lie, but there is absolutely nothing. There is only pure exhaustion and deep hidden pain in those eyes. So the MC asks, who did this? Avoiding his gaze, Liu Ruyan warns him that it was someone they absolutely cannot afford to mess with. Apparently, this dangerous villain wanted both him and the entire Liu family empire. He hesitates, clearly trying to find the right words to describe how the MC used to be. But our MC just cuts in, admitting it himself. Back then, he was just a useless playboy who only cared about partying. He couldn't protect Liu Ruyan or the family, and would have just dragged his own family down, right? Liu Ruyan's body subtly freezes up, and he doesn't even try to deny it.
And there it is. He genuinely believed our MC was completely powerless. So to keep this useless guy safe, he chose to carry the entire burden all on his own. He pushed him away with a fake breakup just to protect him. Honestly, the MC finds it almost funny. So for 3 whole years, practically everyone in their social circle was mocking him. They laughed at the original host for being a dumped simp, while this icy CEO, he was actually staging a tragic martyr for love drama. No shot, this is actually crazy. Talk about a massive misunderstanding. The MC immediately asks where that person is now. Liu Ruyan's cone gets incredibly complicated as he reveals that 6 months ago, the guy fell. His entire company went bankrupt completely overnight, and the guy just vanished without a trace. Absolutely no one knows who did it, but our MC just raises an eyebrow. Wait, half a year ago? The MC suddenly remembers that was right after he transmigrated into this body. One night, he really wanted to eat at a super famous private restaurant on the west side. But they told him some rich guy had booked out the entire place for a month. Our MC was super annoyed, feeling like this guy was being way too loud. The guy totally ruined his mood for fine dining, so he decided to handle it. So he called up his legendary, all-powerful butler, Uncle Zong. He remembers telling him to handle it right then and there. He told him some guy named Wong on the west side was being too noisy. Make him quiet down. And just like that, it was over. The very next day, Uncle Chong called him back with the news. He told the MC he can eat at that restaurant whenever he wants from now on. At the time, he didn't think much of it, assuming Uncle Zhang just gave the guy a warning. But looking back now, Uncle Chong's definition of making someone quiet is on a whole different level. His definition was a bit too deep, and he completely wiped the guy off the map. So basically, the MC ended up personally solving Liu Ruyan's biggest problem, and then he gets captured by his little brother who forces them back together? This whole world is a crazy closed loop. The MC finally connects all the dots and stares at Liu Ruyan. So, now that the danger is gone, you want to pick this useless playboy back up? His voice is laced with sarcasm, causing Liu Ruyan's face to turn completely pale. Gripping his files until his knuckles turn white, Liu Ruyan desperately whispers that he didn't mean it that way. She mutters that's not what she meant, but Lin Ye demands to know just what. She says she just wants to compensate him. Compensate? Lin Yan scoffs, asking how exactly she plans to do that. By signing some fake relationship agreement and playing the happy couple? Is she just trying to satisfy 3 years of guilt while making her brainless brother feel better? That completely shuts Liu Ruyan up, her lips pressing together into a tight, frustrated line. He clearly hit the nail on the head. Lin Yan takes a step closer to the beautiful CEO. He leans in close, lowering his voice to a dangerous whisper, asking her if she seriously thinks he's still the same guy from 3 years ago? A complete fool who just did whatever she said? At this point, they're standing crazy close. So close he can smell her expensive cold perfume and even see her long eyelashes trembling slightly. Honestly, she is drop-dead gorgeous, possessing that sharp, aggressive kind of beauty. The kind of looks you just can't look away from, with skin that literally glows. Her features are delicate, like a priceless masterpiece, but no matter how perfect, if she brings drama, he is out. He wants absolutely no part of it. Naturally, his sudden closeness makes her highly uncomfortable. She takes a nervous step back, quickly putting some distance between the two of them. She places a printed contract on the coffee table, telling him he should review the terms first. Snapping right back into her classic cold CEO persona, she adds that there's no downside for him. Lin Yan glances down at this so-called reconciliation agreement, noting Party A is Liu Ruyan. And Party B is Lin Yan. Let me tell you, the terms of this deal are wild. Both parties voluntarily agree to act as a couple for a 1-year period. During this time, Party A will unconditionally satisfy any reasonable lifestyle or entertainment requests he has. We're talking unlimited access to her black cards, luxury properties, and cars. On top of that, Party A personally covers all drama and trouble arising from their fake relationship. Whether it's business drama or personal issues, she covers it all, until the contract ends in a year. And the absolute best part, she will pay him a massive 9-figure sum for mental damages. At this point, Lin Yan is just staring at this contract with a twitching eye. Like, is this a reconciliation contract, or is she literally trying to pay him to be her gigolo?
Honestly, what does she take him for? Some gold-digging gigolo she can just buy off with cash? Sure, the deal is insanely tempting for someone who just wants to live a lazy life. It's basically winning the lottery, but our boy Lin Ye actually has some self-respect. Seeing him stay completely silent, Liu Ruyan impatiently asks him what he thinks. Lin Ye's response? Not impressed. He slides the paper right back to her, stating he has zero interest in her cash. Which is hilarious because his own bank account is so stacked he can't even spend it all. He definitely doesn't need hers, and hearing this, Liu Ruyan's eyes instantly lose their light. She softly asks what it'll take, but he flatly replies that he wants absolutely nothing from her. Cutting her off, he reminds her that they're done and she needs to walk her own path. While he walks his, it's time to let the past stay in the past. Lin Ye remains completely firm, telling her to just make her brother unlock the door right now. Looking up at him, Liu Ruyan's eyes slowly start to well up with tears. That legendary cold ice mountain is showing actual signs of melting right in front of him. She literally begs him, her voice cracking as she asks him to please just do this. Lin Ye is still confused about why she's so desperate for just one single year.
Taking a deep breath, she reveals that her grandfather found out the real reason they split.
Now that their former enemy has fallen, the grandfather is giving her exactly 1 year to fix things. She drops a bombshell. If she can't change his mind, she must accept an arranged marriage. Our MC is stunned. Like, what does her family drama have to do with him? Liu Ruyan laughs self-deprecatingly. Honestly, her family needs a powerful alliance to stay on top. They must secure their status. Before, a rival's threat kept them in check. But now, that threat is completely gone. So her only value left is being a pawn. Lin just stares. This is the same cold female CEO who usually runs the business world like an absolute boss. But right now, she looks like a helpless puppet trapped by her family fate. She is too proud to ever beg him. So she offers a massive financial contract, just to buy 1 year of his time. Suddenly, the entire room falls dead silent. Outside, her brother Liu Che is relentlessly banging on the door. He yells, "Sis, do not do anything crazy. Please do not fight." Lin just sighs deeply. These siblings are literally a package deal of pure chaos. Lin glances at the contract on the table, then looks at her red, teary eyes. Yet she still stubbornly keeps her back straight. All right, time to do a good deed and save a damsel in distress. Plus, if he says no, her idiot brother will probably do something incredibly stupid. Knowing how obsessive Liu Ruyan is, her life would spiral if she married some random guy. An arranged marriage like that is going to end in absolute disaster. His laying flat dream is totally ruined. He hates messy drama. Better to just rip the Band-Aid off right now. He decides to just sign the contract. He grabs the pen, signing for Party B. He signs his name with a flashy flourish, and Liu Ruyan instantly freezes in pure shock. She stares in disbelief as he tosses the papers right back to her. He calmly demands changes, grabbing the pen. Right there, he crosses out all the clauses about money and financial payouts. He writes his own condition instead. Party A cannot, for any reason, interfere with Party B's dream of laying flat. Pen down. 1 year later, they are free. Neither will owe the other a thing. Liu Ruyan stares at his handwritten terms. She looks up, eyes lighting up. For the first time, her beautiful eyes sparkle as she softly whispers, "We have a deal." The door finally opens and Che bursts in. He spots the signed contract on the table and his jaw drops. He whispers, "Is it actually done?" "Bro, are you okay? My sister did not force you, right?" Lin just rolls his eyes. She tells him to scram, and Che happily runs off. He bolts, winking at Lin with a grin. He mouths some encouragement, leaving them alone in the quiet room. The vibe gets super awkward. Lin clears his throat, saying they need to lay down some rules. She sits up straight. He lays down the rules. First, they are only couples in public. First rule, they don't interfere with each other. She can't control when he wakes up, or what he eats and drinks, and definitely not his gaming and movie marathons. Second, she can't just barge into his place without permission. Calling is fine. She pauses,
but eventually nods. And then comes the most important rule. He looks at her dead serious. Do not try to fix him. He's a proud slacker. He absolutely loves it. Don't expect some elite corporate partner. Liu Ruyan goes silent. She just stares. With an unreadable look, she finally nods and agrees. Perfect. Now that the ground rules are set, our guy decides it's time to head out. He gets up, but she calls him back. He turns around, totally annoyed. But according to the contract, they actually have some couple duties to perform, so she pulls out her phone to show him and opens a list. For starters, they have to eat together once a week, watch a movie, and to fool her grandfather. He might need to move in with her. Of course, he immediately shuts that down. No way! Living with an absolute ice queen? His heating bill would be astronomical, but she clarifies it's just the same estate. Liu Ruyan completely expected this reaction and calmly explains that the mansion is actually massive. There is a main house and an annex, and he gets the entire annex. They will never cross paths. But to the outside world, they must pretend to live together. She even adds that his annex comes fully loaded with a butler, kitchen, and gaming setup. Total privacy guaranteed. Our guy looks at her highly suspicious. Honestly, it sounds pretty sweet. Way bigger than his penthouse, plus a butler to serve his every need. His slacker lifestyle is getting a major upgrade, so he finally relents. She looks relieved. There's a charity gala tomorrow night, and her grandfather will be there. She needs him to attend as her official male partner. So that's her real game plan. Time to put on their first show. Got it, he says, waving it off. Just send the details, and no need to buy him clothes. He's got his own. He definitely doesn't want her picking out some overpriced, tasteless corporate suit. Back at his apartment, he collapses onto his soft couch. Such a pain. Just to get one peaceful year, he basically signed his life away. He grabs his phone to call his assistant, Zhangshu, to pack his things and send them over to the annex, but the very second he unlocks his screen, he freezes. A shocking breaking news alert pops up about Liu Ruyan. Apparently, she's back with her former fiancé, the young master of the Lin Group. They were reportedly caught alone in a room for hours, and there's even a blurry photo attached. It's literally a shot of him driving in. Bro, these paparazzi have zero chill. He checks the comments. Absolute disaster. The internet is completely roasting him, claiming a loser like Lin Ye actually expects Queen Liu to take him back. Others are joking that maybe President Liu just got tired of dealing with elite guys. They think she just wants to switch things up and experience raising a useless toy boy. Honestly, besides his pretty face and family money, does Lin Ye even deserve her? Everyone is literally waiting for the breakup, betting they won't last long. But our main character's reading these comments and loving it. Keep the hate coming. The more useless they think he is, the more peaceful his lazy lifestyle gets, so he shuts off the news. He calls up his loyal butler, Uncle Zhang, to handle a quick favor for him. On the other end, the butler immediately asks for his young master's orders. Hearing that calm, respectful voice, Lin Ye tells him to look into something. He asks if there's a company called Xingyao Group with stock prices that are a bit too stable lately. Uncle Zhang pauses, completely thrown off by the young master's sudden question. When asked what he means, Lin Ye just yawns and says it's nothing major. He just thinks their company is making too much noise in the news, so Uncle Zhang should handle it. The butler says he understands, and his efficiency is absolutely insane. Less than 10 minutes after hanging up, the young master's phone starts buzzing. It's a breaking financial alert. Xingyao Group is being aggressively shorted by an unknown institution. Within 10 minutes of the market opening, their stock completely crashes, dropping over 30%. He raises an eyebrow, realizing Uncle Zhang's definition of noisy was apparently very literal. But then he pauses. Wait, why does the name Xingyao Group sound so familiar? He suddenly bolts upright in shock. Crap, Xingyao Group is actually Liu Ruyan's company? Chapter 4 begins with him staring at the news in complete dead silence. What did he just do? The company he literally ordered Uncle Zhang to ruin. Turns out to be his contract girlfriend's company. Talk about an insane plot twist, guys. This is the ultimate friendly fire, and he can already picture the disaster. He's already imagining Liu Ruyan's Ice Queen face turning pitch black with absolute rage. They signed their reunion contract less than 3 hours ago, and now with just one phone call, everything is on the verge of collapsing. Right then, his phone starts vibrating like crazy. It's a call from Liu Ruyan, and his scalp instantly goes numb. After hesitating, he finally picks up the call, but her voice is no longer calm. Instead, she sounds incredibly anxious and is suppressing a massive wave of anger, asking where he is. He answers that he's just at home, feeling incredibly guilty when she asks if he did something.
He plays dumb, asking what he could have possibly done while lying in bed all day.
He immediately puts on his best acting performance, pretending to be totally clueless. He plays the part of an innocent, lazy guy doing absolutely nothing. Dead silence follows. After a long pause, Liu Ruyan's voice comes through the phone again. But her tone has completely changed, now filled with deep exhaustion and a hint of guilt. She actually apologizes, saying she shouldn't have suspected him and that this has nothing to do with him. It's just some trouble at her company, and she tells him not to worry about it. She promises she will handle it, leaving our main character completely stunned that she actually apologized. Doesn't she think he's just some jinx who brought her bad luck? He awkwardly tells her good luck, and she just sighs in response. Liu Ruyan lets out a bitter laugh, telling him not to worry because tomorrow's banquet is still on. Even if her company goes bankrupt, she'll show up on time, and then she hangs up. Listening to the dial tone, he's left standing there, completely dazed. Honestly, this female lead's brain is built different because her company is practically ruined. And yet she is still worried about their marriage agreement, making our MC scratch his head. At this point, things are officially spiraling way out of his control. He just wanted to silence the fake news media, but Uncle Zong is OP as hell. The butler literally solved the problem by completely folding the female lead's entire company. Now Liu Ruyan is absolutely losing her mind over this sudden disaster. And our main character can forget about getting any peace as he paces around. He cannot let her company collapse, and no, it is not because he pities her. Basically, if she goes broke, she will spend all her energy trying to rebuild. If that happens, she won't have any time to sign their divorce papers. Plus, her toxic grandfather will definitely drag her straight back to the family. And her annoying brother Liu Che will start bothering him 24/7 again. His dream of being a lazy slacker would be totally ruined by this chaos. So to keep his peaceful life, he has to save her company somehow. He quickly dials Uncle Zong again, and the butler answers immediately. Asking for orders, our MC awkwardly brings up the status of Xingyao Group. He clears his throat and tells him to hold off on the attack. The butler is completely stunned, explaining that the shorting campaign has already launched. Stopping now means massive financial losses, but our rich MC literally does not care. He casually brushes off the money and asks for another quick favor. The butler listens as the MC tells him to use some unconventional methods. He wants her stock price pumped back up, and not just to normal. It needs to go way higher, but it has to be completely clean. Nobody can trace it back to them, leaving Uncle Zong totally silent. You just know the old butler is frowning hard on the other end. He's probably overanalyzing this crazy contradictory order to find some hidden genius. Finally, the butler responds with a deep, extremely dramatic voice of understanding. He thinks the young master is playing 3D chess to warn the enemies, showing off their family power first and then saving her to create a massive debt of gratitude. To make her fall head over heels, but our MC is internally screaming in denial. He just wants to slack off, but the butler thinks this move is brilliant. Uncle Zong's voice is full of pure respect, calling the plan a masterpiece.
It seems erratic on the surface, but hides absolute final boss energy.
Crushing her into despair first, only to swoop in as her shining savior later. This crazy push and pull is guaranteed to break her emotional walls completely. The butler is fully sold, leaving our MC totally speechless on the phone. Seriously, these loyal subordinates always have the wildest imaginations. Their ability to overthink everything is hilarious. He just sighs and waves it off. Even if the butler cannot see him, he tells him to just do it. Uncle Zong promises to execute the task and not waste his master's brilliant mind. After hanging up, our MC is literally exhausted from all the mental gymnastics. Honestly, talking to them feels like solving 10 math exams back to back. He flops onto the couch and pulls up the stock market tracker app.
Seeing her stock crashing in a 90-degree angle, he silently prays for her. Let's see if she can hold on as we switch to her office.
The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife as Liu Ruyan stands by the window.
Her face is grim, and in front of her stands a row of her company's top executives.
Despair is written on their faces as she coldly asks if they found anything. Who is trying to ruin us? Liu Ruyan's voice is absolute ice.
The company's chief financial officer, a man in gold-rimmed glasses, steps forward.
Cold sweat. Trembling. We cannot trace their money. It is spread across over 100 offshore accounts worldwide.
Their moves are so clean and precise, it is like fighting a ghost.
Every single one of our firewalls has been completely bypassed. What about our defense funds? How much longer can we hold out? We cannot hold on. Their financial firepower is just too overwhelming. Our cash vanishes, not even a splash. In another 10 minutes, actually make that 5 minutes. We are done. Our account will be completely wiped out, and the office falls into dead silence. Everyone knows what that means. It is the absolute end of the Xingyao Group.
The empire Liu Ruyan built from scratch is about to be erased, which is honestly devastating.
Closing her eyes, she cannot understand who she could have offended to deserve this. Who would use such brutal methods to destroy her? Is it remnants of an old enemy? Or maybe a new business rival? Dozens of faces flash through her mind. But the one face she never even considers is Lin Yan's lazy smile. In her eyes, Lin Yan might be a total slacker. But he is definitely not capable of this. He probably does not even know what short selling means. And she actually feels bad for doubting him earlier.
She feels terrible. But then the CFO calls out to her, his voice cracking with tears.
No shot. She snaps her eyes open.
Her beautiful eyes are burning with an absolute refusal to back down. It is not over until it is over, and she grabs her phone.
She pulls up a contact she swore she would never call again. It is her grandfather's personal assistant, because she can accept losing. No way, not without a fight. Begging? She will do it. She has to secure a future for the loyal employees who followed her for years. But right as her finger hovers over the call button, it is rising. A trader staring at the monitor suddenly screams. His sudden shout draws everyone's eyes back to the massive screens. On the main display, the stock line that was completely dead in the water, that flatlining green line suddenly looks like it got injected with cheat codes. Straight up, at an impossible angle. A massive red candlestick rocket erupts on the chart. What on earth is happening? The CFO's glasses nearly slide off his face as he stammers that he has no idea. Massive buy orders are suddenly flooding the system. Are these buyers insane? Oh my God, it is still soaring. They have already recovered half their losses. It is back, all of it.
They just broke today's opening high. Their stock is officially maxing out.
The room is stunned silent before erupting into pure, deafening hype. What a legendary comeback. Everyone is hugging and crying, celebrating like they just survived a literal disaster. Only Liu Ruyan stands there silently, staring at that bright red limit up line. She is completely stunned, unable to comprehend how any of this is possible. From hell to heaven in a single second. But who did this? Who on earth has this kind of insane power to flip the entire board in minutes? She grabs her phone and stares at the contact name Lin Ye, falling deep into thought. Could it be? No, impossible. She immediately shuts down that completely ridiculous idea. He is just a useless loser. This has to be a coincidence. Or maybe some major business tycoon saw the real potential in Xingyao and decided to help. Yes, that must be it. Liu Ruyan takes a deep breath, trying her best to calm down. But for some reason, Lin Yang's face, that lazy, slightly mocking smirk of his, is just completely stuck in her head. All right, so Chapter 5 starts with the grand charity banquet held at the city's most luxurious hotel. When Lin Yan arrives, the entrance is already packed with all kinds of luxury supercars. He steps off his cheap electric scooter, dressed in completely casual clothes, looking completely out of place among all the elite guests in suits and fancy gowns. The doorman does not even bother looking at him until he pulls out his invitation card.
Otherwise, the guard probably would have just treated him like some random intruder.
And kicked him out. But he just shrugs and walks into the hall. The moment he steps inside, he instantly becomes the center of attention as everyone stares. Their eyes are filled with pure mockery, waiting for some drama to start. People whisper, asking if that is the Lin family's useless trash and why he is here. Dressing like that to a formal banquet is just completely classless. They whisper that he's clinging to Liu Ruyan again, wondering what she even sees in him. Is it just for that face? Meanwhile, our guy completely tunes them out. He just walks straight to the buffet table and begins loading up his plate.
Not bad. The Boston lobster's pretty fresh, and this caviar is actually decent. Though the toast is a bit overdone, and the French escargot is slightly undercooked.
He keeps eating, silently grating the food. Honestly, to him, the absolute only point of a fancy banquet like this is the free, pretty delicious food. But just as he is focusing on a piece of medium well beef Wellington, a cold, familiar voice speaks up right behind him. "You actually came." He turns around to see Liu Ruyan standing right there.
Today she is wearing a stunning black strapless gown, showing off her beautiful collarbones.
With her hair pinned up and elegant makeup, she looks like a dark rose blooming. Genuinely gorgeous. The second she appeared, she completely stole the spotlight from everyone. Yeah, he mumbles while chewing his steak, saying her dress looks pretty nice. It makes her look slim. Ruyan's face twitches as she asks why he couldn't change clothes.
She keeps her voice down, sounding completely exhausted and helpless.
"Why should I?" he asks, adding that this outfit is actually super comfortable. He points to his simple t-shirt and jeans, making Liu Ruyan take a deep breath. She tries to control her temper, giving up on the argument and telling him to follow. Her grandfather is over there. Lin Ye wipes his mouth with a napkin and follows her straight through the crowded room. Right off the bat, Lin Ye can feel 1,000 jealous stares burning holes right through his back. Then, tucked away in a quiet corner, he meets Ruyan's grandfather, Elder Liu.
A sharp, white-haired old-timer who clearly still holds all the power.
The moment he spots Lin Ye, a sharp, cold gleam flashes right through his old eyes. He sizes our boy up from head to toe, asking if he is that Lin kid. His tone is totally hostile, but Lin Ye just greets him politely anyway. Lin Ye remains totally chill, but Elder Liu just lets out a heavy, dismissive snort. He demands to know if they are back together, and before our guy can even say a word, Ruyan jumps right in to confirm it, grabbing Lin Ye's arm to make it look official. But her hand is ice cold, sending a freezing chill right through his shirt. Honestly, Lin Ye stiffens up immediately, totally not used to this level of sudden intimacy. The old man is not buying it. Classic stubborn grandpa trope right here. He warns Lin Ye that the daughters of the Liu family are not to be played with. They are not toys for some lazy playboy, and if Lin Ye ever treats her badly, he will pay. Elder Liu vows to personally crush him, and while his voice is quiet, the threat is heavy.
It carries that heavy, commanding authority of someone who runs the show.
Before Lin Ye can even defend himself, Ruyan frowns and steps in.
She begs her grandfather to stop, insisting that Lin Ye actually treats her incredibly well.
The old man just glares right back, demanding to know what is so good about him. He asks how a lazy, slacker guy like this could ever be worthy of her. Yesterday, when Xingyao Group was literally about to crash, where was he? He asks if this guy did a single thing to help her, making Ruyan turn pale.
She has absolutely nothing to say because she was completely overwhelmed by the crisis yesterday.
Meanwhile, our boy was literally just chilling at home, and even though she does not blame him, it is still a massive, indefensible flaw in front of her grandfather. Seeing her left completely speechless, our boy sighs, completely hating this family drama. Honestly, he hates family drama more than anything, so our boy finally decides to speak up. His voice is quiet, but it instantly silences the entire crowd. He admits the old man is right, and that when Xingyao was in trouble yesterday, he did nothing. He did not lift a single finger, prompting a cold sneer from Elder Liu. The old man mocks his self-awareness, but then Lin Ye looks over at Ruyan and smirks. He asks them what if the only reason Xingyao survived and came back to life was him? Is actually because he did absolutely nothing. Talk about a crazy plot twist.
The crowd goes absolutely wild, and Ruyan snaps her head up to stare at him.
Her beautiful eyes are filled with pure shock, and even Elder Liu is completely stunned. The old man instantly snaps, demanding to know what kind of nonsense he is spewing. He asks Lin Ye if he thinks he is some legendary god of stocks, but Lin Ye just shrugs. Our boy lazily smiles and says he just got a little lucky. He pulls out his phone and opens an email he received the night before. He hands it over to the old man, showing a letter from a massive global titan. It is an official investment proposal from Xingyao Group, and the contents are incredibly simple. They are hyping up Xingyao Group and decided to launch a massive strategic investment. We are talking an initial funding of $10 billion US. Built different, right? They will even help Xingyao conquer overseas markets, but the real kicker is the handwritten note at the bottom. It reads, "Dear Mr. Lin Yan, please accept this little gift we have prepared just for you. A small token of respect. Hope you like it. Looking forward to working together, signed by the president of Goldman Sachs Asia Pacific." A handwritten signature. Old man Liu stares, his eyes widening in shock. He spent his entire life in business, so he definitely recognizes that signature. And there is no way he does not understand what this investment means. It means the Xingyao Group is not collapsing. It is actually about to skyrocket, becoming a literal global giant. And the craziest part of all of this? The guy he always looked down on did it. A total nobody. Old man Liu mumbles to himself, his hands shaking like crazy. "Nothing is impossible," our boy says, calmly sliding his phone back. He just shrugs it off, claiming he's just pretty lucky. Casually mentioning he met some Goldman guys and brought up his girlfriend's company. Apparently they took it seriously. He plays it so cool, like it is nothing. Talk about final boss energy. He acts like it is a minor thing, but it hits the room like thunder. Literally a total mind blower. Just casually mentioning it to some friends? And instantly landing a $10 billion investment? Bro, that is not just luck. That is godlike connections. Liu Ruyan just stares at him, completely speechless. Her usually sharp, calm brain is totally fried right now. She thought yesterday's massive market save was the work of some shadow tycoon. It is literally impossible for her to process. Was actually the guy she had been trying to protect as a helpless loser. The exact man she literally tried to keep on a contract lease. That exact man. At this very moment, her face burns with embarrassment. She was the one who was totally clueless. Later, leaving old man Liao's place, Liu Ruyan is still completely out of it, walking like a ghost. She clings tightly to his arm, like she is afraid he will vanish into thin air. Opening her mouth to speak, but nothing comes out. Knowing she wants to ask about Goldman Sachs, he speaks up first. She nods, and our guy just tells a quick lie about traveling abroad recently, saying he met them at a bar, had a few drinks, and hit it off. They got along great, so they just swapped numbers.
"Seriously? That is it?" she asks, her voice filled with pure disbelief.
"What else?" he fires back. "Did you think it was some big operation?" She goes completely quiet, just staring at him with a look of pure shock. And maybe even a little bit of admiration, making our boy feel pretty awkward. He pulls back his arm, telling her to stop looking at him like that. Just a lucky nobody, he claims, nothing more. And tells her not to forget their agreement, which hits her like cold water, instantly killing the little spark in her eyes as she looks down. "I have not forgotten," she whispers as the mood gets super awkward. Right on cue, an annoying voice cuts through the silence. "Wait, is that President Liu?" A greasy, heavily styled guy suddenly approaches them. He walks over with a wine glass, shamelessly sizing up our main character. His look is pure contempt, if I remember correctly. He mocks him as the spoiled neighbor dumped by Liu Ruyan 3 years ago. So basically, this clown is Zhao Kai, a total trust fund baby. He has been chasing Liu Ruyan for ages, only to get rejected constantly. Naturally, he holds a massive grudge. Classic minor villain behavior, honestly. Though we all know our main character will fold him later, Liu Ruyan goes cold. She warns Zhao Kai to keep his mouth clean, but he just smirked. With a greasy grin, he says he's just curious. Why on earth she'd reject a great guy like him? only to drag around a complete loser. Is her life too easy?
His lackeys start laughing, asking if she just loves carrying dead weight. Honestly, what can a pretty boy even do?
Can he make you money? Sure, play with him, but bringing him to this VIP party? That's just embarrassing. Meanwhile, our boy is standing right there. He just watches these absolute clowns with one simple thought. They are loud. Liu Ruyan is shaking with rage, but our guy quietly stops her.
He steps in front of her, looks at Zhao Kai, and asks if he's done.
Zhao Kai sears, asking if this trash is trying to act tough.
Our boy shakes his head, saying he just wanted to make sure. He asks in a quiet whisper if the guy really wants to die. But Zhao Kai's smug smile instantly freezes as he catches our boy's eyes. He sees something he has never witnessed before, not rage or danger.
Just pure indifference, like a god looking down at a bug. Peak boss energy. Stammering in sudden fear, Zhao Kai desperately asks what he even means.
Nothing special, our main character shrugs while cleaning out his ear. He turns to Liu Ruyan, suggesting they leave because it's too noisy. She just nods in a daze and lets him lead her out.
Behind them, Zhao Kai is absolutely fuming.
He swears he'll get revenge. Meanwhile, our duo is already heading up. They step onto the breezy rooftop garden. She softly thanks him. For what, though? He acts like it was nothing.
Seriously, he tells her he only stepped in because the guy was ugly.
Classic. She's low-key getting used to his wild attitude. But she still has to ask, who are you, really? From saving her company's stock to securing a $10 billion deal, to absolutely folding that trust fund kid with a single look. It completely blows her mind. The lazy guy she knew for those 3 years? Total illusion. This guy is literally built different.
Yet he acts like he can do literally anything, totally covered in mystery. Our boy just smiles, leaning against the railing to watch the city lights.
He claims he is just a lazy slacker, but no shot she believes that.
Liu Ruyan shakes her head, telling him to believe it or not.
He reminds her their contract is only for 1 year, then she goes back to being the Ice Queen. While he goes back to slacking, completely out of her life. But hearing this, Liu Ruyan's eyes immediately go dark, and she just stands there in silence. It lasts so long, he thinks she is done talking, but then, boom, she steps in close on her tiptoes. A soft, cold kiss lands right on his lips. Our guy completely freezes up, his brain going totally blank. Bro, what is happening right now? She's actually kissing him, even if it is pretty clumsy.
She is trembling slightly, like some pure, innocent fairy trying this for the first time.
She is testing the water so carefully, but the moment is over in a flash. She pulls away immediately, taking a step back. Her face is bright red, but she still stares him down with pure determination. She looks at him and says she will not give up, no matter who he really is. Within 1 year, she promises she will make him hers. He will stay by her side willingly, and with that, she turns on her heels and walks away, leaving our boy absolutely stunned in the wind. He touches his lips, still feeling the faint, sweet scent of her perfume lingering there. Like, has this woman completely lost her mind? They were supposed to be a fake couple, so why is she playing for keeps? His peaceful, lazy life is totally going off the rails now. Since that rooftop kiss, Ruyan is like a completely different person, no longer an icy boss. Sure, she still acts like a frozen statue to everyone else, but with him?
The ice is definitely melting as she clumsily tries to learn how to be a real girlfriend. Like she texts him good morning every single day, even though he sleeps until noon. He just replies with a simple okay, but she still orders fresh ingredients to his place.
They get delivered straight to his villa, though he never actually touches them. Mainly because he has a private 5-star chef on payroll, but she even buys him gifts. We're talking 2-player co-op video games meant to bring couples closer. She leaves them in the living room, secretly hoping he will play with her. Even though they just sit there collecting dust, her constant check-ins are what really stress him.
Not even to interrogate him, just asking what he's doing. He just finished a heavy set of bench presses in his private gym, totally drenched in sweat.
When her message pops up, he quickly texts back that he is working out. 1 minute later, the door swings wide open.
Ruyan stands there in her sharp business suit and high heels, looking like a total boss. But when she sees him shirtless, with sweat dripping down his absolute beast of an 8-pack, she completely freezes up, her cheeks instantly flushing with a super obvious blush. She stutters, asking him why he does not have a shirt on. He just rolls his eyes, telling her he is working out, not hosting a board meeting.
Why would he wear a shirt, which makes her quickly look away in embarrassment?
But her eyes keep drifting anyway. She is totally checking out his abs, and honestly, the way she pretends to ignore them is hilarious. So our boy just shrugs it off, grabbing a towel to wipe his sweat. He casually flexes those insanely shredded back muscles right in front of her. No shot, she instantly gasps. Blushing hard, she stammers that she was just casually passing by. She claims she is just checking on him, but he immediately tells her to leave. "Don't ruin my workout," he says, basically kicking her out. But Liu Ruyan does not budge, stepping closer with her hand reached out. He gives her a suspicious look, prompting her to whisper that she wants to help. Before he can even react, she grabs the towel out of his hand. And then boom, she starts rubbing it all over his chest. Her hands are super clumsy, applying barely any pressure. Honestly, this is not even wiping sweat anymore, it is straight up caressing. Those cold fingertips brush against his warm skin, sending a jolt through him, which instantly triggers a very physical reaction from our main character. You already know. He internally curses, wondering if this girl is seriously doing this on purpose. Grabbing her wandering hand, his eyes darken as he calls her name. His voice goes raspy as he asks if she is playing with fire. Startled by the sudden grip on her wrist, she looks up. Meeting his intense, predator-like gaze, her face turns completely red. Looking like a ripe apple, she stutters a denial, but he just sneers. He pulls her hand down, pressing it firmly against his shredded abs, demanding to know what this is while her hand burns against his skin. Feeling those rock-solid muscles beneath her palm, she totally freezes. Frozen in place, he leans down and whispers if she is satisfied. His warm breath brushes against her ear, driving her senses wild. Instantly, her ears turn a bright pink. She stammers incoherently, her brain completely short-circuiting at this point.
Seeing her this flustered actually makes him find this pretty amusing.
Teasing this icy beauty is honestly way better than just doing nothing. He keeps teasing, asking if she wants to try touching something else. But right on cue, his phone ruins the entire vibe. Talk about block. It is Uncle Zong. Terrible timing. Stepping aside to answer, the butler reports that the target company is moving. Our boy asks which one. It is Zhao Kai's Kaisheng Group. Oh, that greasy, slick-haired guy. The butler explains that he's secretly teaming up with other firms to target Xingyao Group's overseas market. The Uncle Zhang sounds incredibly calm and unbothered. Like, it is a minor issue, but our boy slightly frowns. This absolute clown is literally begging for a beatdown, so our boy just tells him to let the guy play. Once he goes all in, that is when we crush him, he says. Hanging up, he turns to find Liu Ruyan still standing there, totally dazed. With her blush still fully active, he asks if she heard everything. She nods, her eyes filled with worry. Worrying about Zhao Kai, he interrupts her to say the guy is just a flea. It is the absolute truth, but she totally takes it as him comforting her. She looks at him, totally touched. Softly, she tells him to stay out of this mess. She insists she can handle it, refusing to rely on him. Or maybe she still does not believe he can actually handle massive business crises. To her, our MC is just a bit mysterious. He has connections, sure, but when it comes to cutthroat business tactics, she definitely thinks he is no match. Too bad he is too lazy to explain. He just shrugs. Suit yourself, just do not bother me. With that, he grabs his jacket, eager to get back to his slacker life. 2 hours of his precious slacker day completely wasted on this woman? Yeah, he needs a massive nap. But at the door, she suddenly calls his name. He turns around and she is right in front of him, catching him completely off guard. She stands on her tiptoes, wrapping her arms around his neck, and kisses him again. This is definitely not just a quick, polite peck. This is a desperate, all-or-nothing kiss.
In Chapter 8, over the next few days, Liu Ruyan immediately targets Zhao Kai. She throws herself into work, leaving early and returning late every day. No morning texts? Honestly, perfect.
With her busy, nobody is around to interrupt his slacker lifestyle, letting him sleep in every day.
He enjoys massive brunches, then spends his afternoons working out or swimming. Or he just chills watching movies, then brews some wine at night. Total dream life. Then, one quiet afternoon, while he is relaxing on a garden rocking chair, enjoying some freshly brewed lychee wine, Liu Che suddenly calls him out of nowhere, literally screaming for help. The kid is practically howling, making our MC ask what is wrong now. Lin Ye frowns as the frantic brother cries out that his sister is about to break. Apparently, that absolute clown Zhao Kai managed to bring in a bunch of ruthless Wall Street sharks. They are attacking her company overseas, and she has not slept in 3 days. Her stock is tanking. Our guy just swirls his wine.
He calmly asks, "Oh, is that so?"
How bad? Liu Che screams that it is near rock bottom. He begs Brother Lin to do something, pointing out he has major contacts at Goldman Sachs. Asking him to get them to help, but Lin Ye calmly asks, "Why should I help?" That completely stuns Liu Che, who stammers, "Wait, is she not your girlfriend?"
She is just a fake contract girlfriend, our MC coolly corrects.
Besides, she was the one who insisted on handling this herself and told him to stay out of it. But she is literally at her limit. Liu Che whimpers, saying he secretly went to check on her. She is sitting all alone in her office, her eyes completely bloodshot.
With empty coffee cups piled high all over her desk, the whole scene is just heartbreaking to see.
Lin Ye goes silent, her stubborn face flashing through his mind. She just insists on carrying everything. "Brother Lin, please, I am begging you," Liu Che pleads.
If our guy does not step in, she is going to ruin herself.
He threatens to jump off his roof. Again. Our MC just sighs, tells him he got it, and hangs up. Our main character downs the rest of his lychee wine. Top tier stuff, honestly. But his good mood is totally ruined, so he pulls out a burner phone. This phone only has one contact, Uncle Zong, and he sends a quick text. It is time to reel in Zhao Kai, practically the second it sends. He gets a reply saying, "Understood, young master." He sets the phone down. He leans back in his rocking chair and closes his eyes, sighing. What a hassle. Why do clueless fools always have to ruin his peaceful, lazy life? Meanwhile, over at the Starry Group Overseas Division, the tension is suffocating. Liu Ruyan stands before a massive screen, staring at the bleeding market charts. Her face is pale as a ghost, while behind her, her elite team looks equally devastated. "We lost," a blonde trader says, completely giving up and finally letting go of his mouse. The enemy cash flow is an endless ocean. All resistance is completely futile. For 3 whole days and nights without sleep, they tried literally everything. They threw in every single resource, but their defense collapsed like a landslide. Zhao Kai hired the most ruthless vultures Wall Street has to offer. They are brutal, calculating, and hit to kill. In just 3 days, Starry Group's hard-earned overseas market was picked completely clean. Her assistant steps forward, his voice tight as he mentions Zhao Kai.
Zhao Kai just sent an acquisition proposal, he says, handing over a folder.
Looking at the offer price, it is nothing short of an absolute insult. That villain does not just want to win, he wants her pride crushed. Liu Ruyan stares at the paperwork, her entire body swaying in shock. Barely able to stand, she realizes she has lost everything.
She actually thought she was strong enough to protect her company.
She wanted to protect him too, not wanting him to risk anything again. She hated owing him favors, but reality just gave her a brutal wake-up call. Just as she is about to sink into total despair, the doors fly open. "Director Liu, look at this!" An analyst screams, rushing into the room.
He is practically scrambling across the floor, holding up a tablet.
His face is a mix of pure shock and absolute hype. Something huge happened. Wall Street is burning, and immediately every single eye locks onto him.
The screen is playing a breaking bulletin from the biggest financial news outlet.
Breaking news, Wall Street is facing an absolute historic meltdown, with over 30 giant firms and major hedge funds getting accused of massive market manipulation and insider trading. The Securities and Exchange Commission and FBI are raiding their offices right now. All suspects are being detained, and every single asset has been frozen. On screen, we see countless wealthy elites in high-end suits being marched out of skyscrapers in handcuffs, looking utterly humiliated.
They are completely terrified. But wait, look who gets a massive close-up.
It is the infamous Wall Street vulture George Sorin, the mastermind behind the attack. The scrolling ticker below reveals that the entire takedown was triggered by a leak. A mysterious whistleblower handed over an absolute mountain of ironclad evidence to authorities. We are talking about over 1,000 pages of damning documents, fully exposing 10 years of their illegal schemes. This is a masterclass in revenge. Dead silence fills the office as everyone stares at the news in absolute shock. Honestly, nobody can even process the insane plot twist unfolding on screen.
Just a second ago, those Wall Street wolves were about to destroy her company. And now they are completely ruined. How is this even possible?
Even our gorgeous female lead, Liu Ruyan, is completely frozen in place,
staring at those familiar faces on screen and the 1,000-page evidence report. At this point, an absolutely wild and crazy theory starts creeping into her mind.
She immediately bolts, running for the elevator, then straight to her car. No time to think. She slams her high heels onto the gas pedal, speeding off toward that home that suddenly feels so mysterious. She has to see him right now. She must see that man. Meanwhile, our OPMC is just chilling in his garden. He is casually wiping with dust off his beloved wine jars. These are rare antique pots gathered from all over the country. Suddenly, a loud screech of tires and footsteps on gravel break the quiet. Our boy does not even look up to know exactly who just arrived. Liu Ruyan rushes right up to him, completely out of breath. Her forehead is covered in sweat from running all this way. She looks at him, those cold eyes of hers wide open. Shock, confusion, excitement, and a burning fire he's never seen as she asks, "Was it you?"
Her voice shakes as she demands to know if he crushed Wall Street.
Our guy sets down his cleaning rag and looks up lazily. "So what if I did?" "You admitted it," she gasps, taking his casual reply as confirmation. She is literally shaking with excitement. She knew it was him. Nobody else could have pulled this off. He just gives a quiet nod. He goes back to polishing his jars, leaving her totally stunned. Bro, she expected him to deny it or make up some stupid excuse. Or maybe laugh it off as pure luck, like he did before. But she never expected him to own up to it so easily. He is so calm, as if destroying half of Wall Street is nothing. Just another minor chore, no different from dusting off an old pot. She steps closer and grabs his wrist, demanding to know why. Frowning, he tells her she's annoying. He brushes her off and says he just found those guys too noisy. She freezes in disbelief as he continues with a straight face. "Those guys kept you awake for 3 whole days and nights. And when you don't sleep, your idiot brother comes crying and ruins my peace." Basically, his logic is flawless. They were just too loud. Hearing this wild explanation, she is left completely speechless. She just stands there staring at him for a long moment, then smiles. For the first time, she flashes a real, genuine smile, not a polite business mask. Not a bitter smirk either, but a truly beautiful and radiant laugh. Her warm, sun-like smile completely melts his icy demeanor at that exact moment.
But as she smiles, tears start streaming down her face in this wild mix of laughing and crying.
She looks like a total fool, leaving Lin Ye completely baffled by her behavior. Is she crazy? He asks what is wrong, but she does not answer. Instead, she takes a step forward and hugs him tightly, burying her head in his chest. Her hot tears soak his shirt as she tearfully calls him a complete jerk. He asks how he is a jerk, and she demands to know why he did not tell her sooner. Voice cracking, she asks why he made her look like such a fool. She wanted to protect him so badly, but he never even asked for her help. He rolls his eyes, telling her she is just being dramatic, which completely shuts her up. Her crying stops instantly. She looks up, eyes filled with tears. Then she bites his lip hard, making him gasp and ask if she is a dog. Ignoring his question, she just stares at him with her red, swollen eyes. She stares dead at him. Talk about pure intensity. Word by word, she clearly declares their agreement is officially dead. His heart drops. What could she possibly mean by that? Is she backing out? Well, she is about to blow his mind.
A playful smirk appears on her face, a side he has never seen.
Starting today, she is going to chase him. No more fake relationships, no more acting.
She stands on her tiptoes, leaning in close to whisper a solemn vow. She softly demands that Lin Yan become her real, genuine man. Her only man. She is making him fall completely in love.
With that, she kisses him again, and this is definitely not a test. This kiss is loaded with pure, unyielding passion and possessiveness. Right then, Lin Yan knows his dream of a lazy life is officially ruined. And let me tell you, Chapter 10 starts with Liu Ruyan launching a straight-up romantic offensive. She wants the world to know. Her first move? Insane. She calls a massive, global, live-streamed press conference. The goal is clearing up the recent drama surrounding Xingyao Group.
She also plans to announce future developments which Lin Yan has zero interest in. But her hyped-up brother, Liu Che, literally drags our guy out of bed.
He shoves Lin Yan right into the center of the front row. Liu Che is hyped, telling him he has to support her. Yawning, Lin Yan looks at the stage and sees her absolutely glowing. Liu Ruyan looks stunning in a striking red suit, radiating pure confidence. She has total boss energy. Her explanation is short and sweet. She confidently announces that the overseas market crisis is completely resolved. Plus, a massive deal with Goldman Sachs sends the media into a frenzy. Then, during the Q&A, a clueless reporter ruins the vibe. He asks if the rumors about her and Lin Yan are true.
He literally calls our guy the city's #1 useless loser. Dead silence. The second that rude question drops, everyone freezes. Every single eye in the room instantly locks onto Lin Yan. He doesn't even blink, already planning his escape the second it ends. Liu Che stands on the side, his face completely red from pure rage. If Lin Yan did not hold him back, he would have charged straight ahead. He wanted to throw hands with that reporter, but on stage, Liu Ruyan hears the question. Instead of getting mad, she actually smiles. Talk about absolute queen behavior. She looks at the reporter, then turns her gaze right toward Xingyan. Her beautiful eyes are suddenly overflowing with nothing but pure love and tenderness. Picking up the microphone, Liu Ruyan says she wants to correct one thing first. Her voice echoes clearly across the room, announcing that they are not getting back together. The entire crowd instantly gasps in shock. Wait, they are not getting back together? Everyone thinks the rumors are fake, but then Liu Ruyan pauses for a second. She says word by word, it is actually me pursuing him. This confession literally drops like a bomb. Everyone in the crowd completely loses their minds. The cold Ice Queen CEO just admitted she is chasing the city's biggest loser. Unbelievable! This is the ultimate plot twist, guys. The reporter starts snapping pictures so fast. Their cameras are pretty much catching fire, but she is not done dropping massive truth bombs. She throws a freezing cold glare at the reporter who asked that stupid question. To her, that title is laughable. Some people are just born at the very top. He is just too lazy to look at the view. That does not mean he lacks the power to conquer it all. She calls him the smartest, most powerful, and gentlest man she has ever met. He is her guiding light, her true hero. He is the only man she will ever choose. Anyone who dares mock him again is going to face her wrath, her eyes turned sharp and dangerous. You are officially making an enemy of her and the entire Xingyao Group. She drops the mic in the middle of this absolute dead silence. Under the flash of 1,000,000 cameras, she walks down from the stage. She marches straight toward Lin Yan while everyone watches in utter disbelief. Gently leaning down, she cups his face with both hands and kisses him deeply right there. Honestly, this payoff is so insanely satisfying. The entire world seems to fade away as their background. Lin Yan can hear people gasping in shock and quietly screaming all around them. Even Liu Che is standing next to them screaming, "Oh my God!" But Lin Yan
is just staring at this incredible woman who is willing to fight the whole world for him. Suddenly, the heavy wall he built to live a lazy life starts to crack. After that legendary kiss of the century, our main character goes completely viral.
Hashtag Liu Ruyan chases Lin Ye, and hashtag Lin Ye is too lazy to look at the view.
Along with hashtag the capital's #1 loser is actually a hidden boss. These wild topics completely dominate the trending charts across every social media platform. Netizens dig up everything they can on him, but they only find one thing. It turns out he is the sole heir to the massive Lin Group.
His background is as clean as a blank sheet of paper, basically just eating and sleeping.
This leads to a funny new trend. Hashtag the strongest lazy king of all time, Lin Ye. There is even a more ridiculous one. Hashtag Lin Ye did not wake up today either.
And get this, the topic was actually started by the official Xingyao Group page.
It all started when their stock price randomly hit the daily limit with zero warning.
Countless investors and financial reporters went crazy trying to analyze the reason. Let us see why.
Xingyao's official account casually posted a statement telling everyone to stop guessing. Turns out their future boss's wife was just in a great mood today because she finally
got their lazy boss out of bed before noon. The challenge was officially a fail.
As soon as that post dropped, the internet went absolutely wild over a guy waking up.
The company stock hit the limit up immediately. Talk about a god-tier workplace.
And honestly, what a beautiful romance. But from that day on,
whether Xingyao actually got out of bed became a literal stock market indicator. If he stayed in bed, their stock price would just keep soaring. But if he actually woke up, game over. Since he rarely woke up before the afternoon, his lazy lifestyle somehow became the company's biggest financial win. He was honestly speechless. Meanwhile, his life was turning upside down thanks to Liu Ruyan's aggressive chasing. She was no longer satisfied with living in the side villa and moved right into his mansion. She claimed it was to take better care of him, so every single morning, she would wake him up in the most creative ways possible, starting with gourmet food. She literally hired a world-class chef team to rotate different menus daily. They served him elaborate traditional breakfasts, but other times it was her.
She would wear a gorgeous silk nightgown and lean over his bed,
gently tracing his abs with her fingers. Honestly, who could resist that? He had to admit it was hard to say no, but his peaceful slacker life was over. Not only did he have to survive her relentless romantic pursuits, he also had to deal with his absolutely hyperactive, overachieving subordinates. Ever since they decided she was their future boss, these guys started flexing like crazy. One day, someone would gift her a private island. The next day, another would buy her a diamond mine. But the heavy hitter, they literally bought out the world's largest luxury conglomerate
and gifted it to Liu Ruyan just because.
She casually mentioned she liked one of their bags. She did not know whether to laugh or cry. She ended up transferring all these assets to Xingyao's name. So as he lay in bed, his wealth kept growing at a terrifying speed. He wasn't just resting anymore. He was literally lying down and winning. It felt amazing, but also exhausting. Chapter 12. One morning, he actually woke up early because she wanted to show him something. She blindfolded him and led him onto a private jet. Plane landed, blindfold off. Before his eyes was an endless, breathtaking sea of purple lavender. The flowers swayed gently in the wind, filling the air with a sweet scent. And right at the edge of the field stood a beautiful white cabin. "This is Provence," she whispered, hugging him from behind. Resting her chin on his shoulder, she announced she bought the entire place. When he asked why, she kissed his cheek and said it was a gift. She knew he loved quiet places and making his own wine. This place has the perfect sunlight and the absolute perfect soil. Plus, she has him. Looking at the view and hearing her words, his heart melted. He called out her name softly, feeling completely vulnerable.
"Did you forget our contract is only for 1 year?"
Her body instantly froze. Lin points out that their 1-year agreement is almost up, and Liu Ruyan goes completely silent. He turns around. He stares straight into her eyes, waiting for her reaction. He asks her slowly, does the great President Liu still plan on pursuing him? Her eyes instantly turn red. She stubbornly bites her lip, refusing to speak. Lin warns her that if she stays quiet, he will just assume she is giving up and starts to walk away.
I did not. She suddenly grabs him from behind in a tight hug, crying out that he is a complete jerk. She cries out that he clearly loves her too, so why won't he just admit it?
Lin play acts dumb, asking when he ever said that, leaving her completely speechless.
She can only bury her face in his back and sob, making him let out a soft sigh. He finally turns around, pulls her into a warm embrace, and wipes away her tears. He gently tells her to stop crying, teasingly saying she won't look pretty anymore. She weakly punches his chest, muttering that it is none of his business. He leans down and seals her lips with a long, deep kiss. It is incredibly gentle. When they finally part, he looks straight into her teary, beautiful eyes. He looks at her seriously and says he has absolutely no intention of keeping that one-year agreement. She freezes in absolute shock. A playful grin spreads across Lin's face. He gives her a warm, genuine smile that she has honestly never once seen from him before. He tells her he wants to sign a lifetime contract instead, with him remaining as Party B. And Party A can only ever be her. Honestly, this guy is an absolute smooth talker. It takes her a few seconds to realize the actual meaning of his words.
Pure joy washes over her. She is left completely speechless as happiness floods her entire soul.
She just throws her arms around him, holding him as tight as she possibly can, like she wants to melt into him.
Under the warm sun, surrounded by beautiful purple flowers, the two share a perfect embrace.
Meanwhile, inside a cabin far away, her little brother Liu Che is watching them through high-powered binoculars. He's screaming into his phone, excitedly telling Uncle Zhang that his sister finally pulled off the win. He yells that Lin actually smiled, finally showing a real, genuine grin to the world. On the other end, a massive, relieved sigh comes from Uncle Zhang. With a warm, incredibly proud voice, the old butler says this is absolutely wonderful news. It seems the young master's ultimate dream of lying flat is finally safe. What a perfect ending.